Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with a review of the stainless power long tube catted headers available for 2015 and up S550 GT Mustangs. In this video we're going to be looking at a few different things in regards to these headers. I'm going to talk about the materials and construction of the headers themselves and the install too. I'll talk more about this later on, but I can tell you right now that long tube headers make for a difficult install, so I'm going to call this one a 3 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. The stainless power catted long tube headers are going to be a good option for someone looking for a natural finish, stainless steel long tube that's going to maintain the use of cats and maintain 3-inch connection pipes, but that'll step down to 2.5 inches for a cat back. The connection pipes that come with these headers are 3-inch catted pipes that have a step down, which means that you'll need a 2.5-inch cat back. Long tube headers are going to offer both performance and sound gains, but the end result of your headers will depend on the rest of your setup. The runners on these particular headers are 1 7/8 inch, which is slightly different than the 1 3/4 inch offering. Traditionally, you see forced induction cars running larger runners and NA cars running smaller runners, but I wouldn't really say that that's a hard and fast rule, especially with the new Coyotes. So you don't have to have a power adder to run a 1 7/8 inch diameter, you just need to keep in mind your current mods and the goals you have for your car when you're looking around, as well as what going with this size runner will do to your power band with the mods that you have. If you have some bolt-ons and you're still NA, you might see a hit on your low-end torque, but once you spin the Coyote motor up, the larger diameter is going to help keep things moving, so what you're going to see are top-end gains. Getting into the specifics here, these are a 304 stainless steel header that has a natural or raw finish, which is going to be different than a chrome or ceramic coated header. It obviously doesn't have the polished appearance that a chrome header would have, and while these do not have the ceramic coating either, they are made from that 304 stainless steel tubing, so you won't have to worry about corrosion. And this is mandrel bent tubing, which is going to help with smoother air delivery. The header flanges here are also laser cut, and they do that to prevent leaks and create a good fit. The primary tubes then merge down to a 3-inch collector with Venturi-style merge spikes that are going to optimize exhaust flow. Then you have your connection pipes here. Like I said earlier, they're 3-inch and they are catted, and they're going to step down to 2.5 inches. That means you can bolt up your factory cat back or an aftermarket 2.5-inch one, so you have some flexibility there. If we move on to price, as we all pretty much know, or you'd know if you've been shopping for long tubes, that they're pretty much going to be a solid investment. They're pricey and they're difficult to install. This option from Stainless Power, since they are a higher quality item made from great materials, are going to be on the more expensive side. Not to mention, the 1 7/8 inch option that we have here is going to be slightly more expensive, which isn't unusual to see when you compare it to a smaller runner. You do tend to see that the larger runners cost more than the smaller runners, but not usually by very much at all. You're looking at spending just over $1,100 for a set of these right here, but you do have to keep in mind all the benefits and power that you'll be getting from this setup, and to put things in perspective, it's not just these headers are going to be expensive. You're going to be looking at headers costing very close to or over $1,000 anyway, no matter what brand you go with. As for the install on this one, long tubes are always going to be a difficult install. I don't say this often, but if you don't have a helping hand or you don't have much experience, it might be better to just take the car to a shop for the install. If you do tackle this yourself, it's going to be a full 3 out of 3 wrenches on the scale and a day in the garage. You're going to need your toolbox for this one with an assortment of different sockets, wrenches, and extensions. You're looking at things like disconnecting the steering shaft, dropping the starter, and removing a motor mount. A lot of this install obviously requires working in some pretty tight areas, so while everything is straightforward, getting access and maneuverability in these areas is actually tricky, which is why you need to pull a motor mount on one side, so you can raise the motor slightly with a jack to give you some more room. Having a helping hand in this case is really going to benefit you, but a day of wrestling and some pretty pennies spent on these mods is totally worth it in my opinion. So wrapping things up with the Stainless Power long tube catted headers, these are 304 stainless steel headers with 1 7/8 inch runners and 3-inch collectors that run down to 3-inch connection pipes that'll step down to 2.5 inches. As usual, you can check them out more online for yourself right here at AmericanMuscle.com.